Hi everyone, I'm Melissa. Welcome to my channel, Gentle Yoga and Wellness. Today I have a slow yoga for beginners class. If you're enjoying this class, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate your support. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. You can start in a cross-legged position like I'm sitting right now. Or if this position is not working for your body, you can also sit in Hero's Pose. I'll show you what that looks like. For Hero's Pose, you will want to come up onto your knees. So you're just sitting on your legs here with your knees facing forward. If you have a yoga block or a folded up blanket or a towel, you can place that right underneath your sit bones for a little bit of support, and that'll take some pressure off of your legs. Okay, so get situated, either sit in Hero's Pose or sit cross-legged, whatever feels comfortable for your body today. Once you're in position, you'll want to roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, and sit up tall. Think about lengthening through your spine. On your next inhale, start to lift both of your arms up to the sky and take your hands to prayer center. As you exhale, lower your hands down towards the earth. We'll do that again. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, bring the palms of your hands together, lower your arms. Let's continue that movement, flowing with our breath. Deep breath in. Exhale and release. Good. Start to focus on your breath. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. As you inhale, think about taking in light and love. And as you exhale, release any tension, any tightness that you're holding today. Do that a few more times. Deep breath in. Exhale, release. Good. Start to bring your focus and awareness to your breath. One more time, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, slowly let it go. Nice job. You can relax your arms down and just take your hands onto your thighs. From here, we're going to do a few shoulder shrugs. So start to take your shoulders up, back, and down. And then you'll want to do that again. Take your shoulders up, back, and down. So let's continue that movement, just making a circular motion with the shoulders. Good, just relax your shoulders. Think about sitting up tall. From here, take your right hand down to your mat, so just on the floor beside your hips. And then take your left hand on the outside of your right thigh. We're going to come into a seated spinal twist. So inhale, and then as you exhale, very slowly begin to rotate and take your gaze over to the right. We'll pause here just a moment. So focus on your breath. Take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, release and return to center. Take your hands back to your thighs. And one more time, we're gonna do some shoulder shrugs. So again, take your shoulders up, back, and down. Do that again. Take your shoulders up, back, and down. Continue this movement and think about relaxing and releasing your shoulders. Nice job. Relax your shoulders down. This time we'll take our left hand down to the mat. Take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Inhale, and then as you exhale, rotate and come into your seated spinal twist. So you'll take your gaze over to the left. And just pause here for a moment, breathe into this stretch. Take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, slowly unwind and return to center. From here, begin to cross your arms in front of you. So you're going to take your arms onto your opposite knees or thighs. Notice what's comfortable in your body today. Once your arms are crossed, you're going to start to lift your chest and take your gaze slightly up. As you exhale, begin to round through your back and take your gaze inward. Do that again. Take a deep breath in, lift your chest. Exhale, round the back and take your gaze inward. So continue this movement as you inhale and exhale. We're just doing some seated cat-cows here. Nice job. Take an inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, hollow out the belly, round through the back. Let's do that one more time. Inhale and rise. Exhale and slowly release. Good. You can come back to a neutral spine. And then just go ahead and uncross your arms. From here, begin to thread your legs behind you. Come to tabletop position. So you're going to want to come up to your hands and to your knees. And in tabletop position, take a moment to make sure that your knees are stacked right under your hips. And then make sure that your wrists are stacked under your shoulders. Spread your fingertips out wide and then take your gaze in front of you. Once you feel stable in your tabletop position, you're going to lift your right leg off the mat and push through the heel of your right foot. Good. So we're coming into Spinal Balance pose here. We're working our core and our abdominal muscles. You're welcome to stay right here with one leg lifted, or for a little bit more challenge, you can lift your opposite arm. So you're going to lift your right leg and then your left arm. Good. Let's just hold this here for a moment. Take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, release your hand and your knee down to the mat. And slowly start to sway your hips from side to side. Take a moment to release from that spinal balance pose. Move your shoulders, gently move your head. Once you feel complete, just pause here, come back to your tabletop position. We'll come to spinal balance now on the opposite side. So start by lifting your left leg off the mat and push through the heel of your left foot. Remember, working that core and abdominal strength, working on our balance and stability in this pose. You can stay right here with one leg lifted, or for more challenge, you'll lift your opposite arm. So you're lifting your left leg and your right arm. Just as we did before, let's pause here for a moment and just breathe. Good. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, lower your knees and your hand down to the mat. Slowly start to sway your hips from side to side. Just take a moment to release from that spinal balance pose. Good. We're finding some organic movement here as we sway our hips and move the shoulders. And once you feel complete, just pause here, come back to tabletop position. Start to curl your toes underneath behind you. So just curl those toes under. Sit your hips back so that you're sitting on top of your feet. Good. This is called toe squat pose. In toe squat pose, you'll want to roll your shoulders back and lift your chest. Sit up tall. In this stretch, you'll feel a stretch all the way from your feet up your legs. So we're stretching out our fascia here. And this stretch might be a little bit intense if you've never done it before. I feel it a lot in my feet, but this will really help you with your flexibility. So this is one that I recommend doing every day. You can take your gaze in front of you, and then let's start to rotate our head. Slowly look to the right, come into a gentle neck stretch. And then once you're ready, rotate your head, look over to the left. Good, you can bring your gaze back to center. We'll come to puppy dog pose now. So keep your feet and lower body where it is. Start to reach your hands towards the top of the mat. Begin to lift your hips up. So you're angling your pelvic bone up to the ceiling, and then relax your forehead down as far as you can. It may not come all the way down to the mat, and that's fine. You really want to focus on lengthening and expanding through the back. So really reach through the fingertips, lift the hips, and then relax the forehead down. Good. Once you're ready, you can slowly begin to rise. You're going to come back up to your toe squat. So just sit your hips back onto your feet, just like we did before. From here, very slowly start to straighten your legs and come up to a standing position. Take your legs about as wide as your mat. Relax your upper body. Relax your head and neck. Come to Ragdoll Pose. So in Ragdoll Pose, you can grab onto your opposite elbows and slowly start to sway from side to side. You can make a figure 8 pattern with your arms. Think about relaxing and releasing your head and your neck. Good, we'll stay here for a couple moments. So just allow yourself to enjoy this gentle movement. You should feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings and then all the way down your back. Once you feel complete, you can pause here, release your hands down to your mat. Start to toe heel your feet in towards midline, about hip distance apart. Bend your knees deeply and lower yourself back down to your mat. Nice job. From here, come back to tabletop position. So you're going to come back to your hands and your knees. And from tabletop, we're just going to use this as a transition pose. Start to take your hands towards the top of the mat. So you're moving your hands a little bit closer to the top of the mat. Begin to curl your toes under, come to high plank pose. So for high plank pose, you're going to straighten your legs and lift your hips off of the mat. You're engaging through the abdominals and the core. You can just relax your gaze down to the earth. Good, find your breath. Try not to hold your breath here. You want to continue to breathe. We're just working on core strength. We use a lot of core strength in yoga. So it's important to have a nice, strong core. Let's take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, lower both of your knees down to the mat. Bend your elbows and place your forearms on your mat. Place the palms of your hands on your mat. Straighten your legs behind you and lower yourself down onto your stomach. Push the tops of your feet into your mat. Come to Sphinx Pose. So in Sphinx Pose, we're coming into a gentle back bend. And you're supporting your upper body with your forearms and your elbows. And you want to lift your gaze just slightly. Think about squeezing your shoulder blades together. And then start to slightly engage your lower abdominals. So kind of squeeze in your stomach. And that should help you to lift your chest. Good, let's take one more inhale. As you exhale, start to come into child's pose. For child's pose, take your knees wide out to the sides of your mat. You'll reach your fingertips to the top of the mat and then relax your forehead down to the earth. If your forehead is not coming all the way down to the earth, you're welcome to either place a block on the lowest setting or a towel or blanket underneath your forehead. Slowly begin to rise from your child's pose. If you're using a block or a blanket, place that off to the side. Begin to thread your legs in front of you. So we're going to come into staff pose. Staff pose looks like this. Your legs are long out in front of you. Flex through your feet and then lift your chest. So you're sitting up tall with your legs extended. Find your sit bones. Make sure your sit bones are rooted into the earth. And then from staff pose, we're going to transition to seated forward fold. So it looks like this. You can start to hinge forward. You'll sit up tall and then start to hinge forward. You can either take your hands to your calves, to your ankles, or you can reach down to the soles of your feet if that's available to you. Once you're feeling a spot with a gentle stretch, without any pain or discomfort, right? You don't want to feel any pain. Just a nice gentle stretch. Then you'll want to relax your head down. So once you're feeling that point with a gentle stretch, take your gaze down to the earth and relax your head and neck. Once you're ready, you can release your hands and very slowly start to rise. Come back to a neutral spine. From here, bend your knees. Reach both of your arms out in front of you. Very slowly lower yourself down to a lying position. So you're going to want to use your core, your abdominals to lower your body, just nice and slow. Once you're lying on your mat, keep your knees bent and bring the soles of your feet close to your hips. From here, start to lift your right ankle. Place your right ankle on top of your left thigh. We're coming into a figure 4 stretch. So you're welcome to stay right here in this figure 4 stretch. You'll feel a nice opening in your hip and your inner thigh. If you'd like to deepen the stretch, you can reach your hands behind your left thigh and then hug your left thigh a little bit closer into your chest. Good. You can start to release your hand from your leg and then lower both of your feet back down to your mat. We'll come to figure 4 stretch on the opposite side. So this time, take your left ankle and place it on top of your right thigh. Again, you'll feel a gentle stretch in the interthigh and in the hip. You're welcome to stay right here, or for a little bit deeper stretch, you can reach your hands behind your right thigh and then start to pull your right thigh in a little bit closer to your chest. You can release your hands from your thigh. Bring both of your feet back down to your mat. From here, hug both of your knees into your chest. Start to gently rock from side to side and give yourself a little back massage here. You can move in a circular motion. You can move in a figure 8 pattern. Just start to move in a way that's feeling good to your body today. Once you feel complete, you can release your hands from your legs, take the soles of your feet close to your hips, and keep your knees bent. We'll come into bridge pose. For bridge pose, place the palms of your hands into your mat near your hips. Start to lift your hips off of the mat by engaging your glutes. Keep your gaze up to the ceiling, so you want to look up towards the sky. You can stay right here, or for a little bit deeper stretch, interlace your hands underneath you. One at a time, start to rock your shoulder blades underneath your body. Actively use your glutes to lift your hips. Gently squeeze your inner thighs together. Let's take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, release your hands. Slowly lower your hips down to the mat. From here, extend your legs out long. So straighten both of your legs and point through your toes. Reach both of your arms overhead and stretch through your fingertips. So we're coming to stick pose, and stick pose is a full body stretch. So you want to think about reaching through your fingertips, reaching through your toes, and stretching and lengthening through your entire body. Let's take one more inhale. As you exhale, relax your arms down to the sides of your body. Relax your legs. Slowly begin to rock onto one side. Use your hand to push yourself up and come to a seated position. And take your hands to prayer center. Thank you so much for doing this slow beginner yoga practice with me. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a like and subscribe. I hope to see you soon. Namaste.